Yo, what's up, y'all? So, I was gonna do a video on some men's releases and stuff that I did. And so I was gonna pull up an old video from 2019. Look at this dude. Look at this dude on the screen. Check this guy out. This is wicked. The chub, the busted teeth, the nastiness. Like, I don't understand how I was ever like that. I don't get it. I don't understand. How'd y'all let me get like that? Good. Look at this. All right. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at a few releases. We're going to try to talk a little bit about some men's releases here. Another two-hander here. This is Maldonado. The old Maldonado. Let's see where he's at. And this was definitely with my old camera. Old phone. Yeah, very, very low underneath the ball. Rotates around it real nice. Yep, definitely. Definitely good there. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look. Who's this? Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Oh, Jake Peters. You can just tell by the swing. By his little giddy up. And same thing. Very nice. Look how low he gets on the ball. Fingers to the inside. Fingers low below the equator of the ball. Rotates through it. The old purple hammer. Who's next? Mitch Beasley. Well, again, you look at his fingers, way to the inside. He's a pinky tucker. Nothing wrong with that. And then rotates through it. Very nice. That looks like it was an old Black Widow urethane. I think this was all during practice session. And we've got Tommy Hess. But you look at the difference here. So Tom gets his fingers to the inside, but he moves them to the outside quicker. When he's playing straighter, that's what he likes to do. He likes his hand kind of to the outside, thumb at about that 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock position. And not necessarily a suitcase, but kind of in between suitcase and roll. So that way he can just kind of fire it up that outside, and he's really good at playing that, between 10 and 15, firing it up there just like that. He loves doing that. He's good at it. Mike Machuga. Another one that is really good with his hand. You can see he stays back behind it. Fingers below the equator. Rolls through it really nice. Very, very good. More power, more strength. We got Kirk Peel on. Another guy that's real. He loves to use that urethane and kind of trap it in front of him. He doesn't get his hand as low as what he could, but again, it's because he's playing straighter with urethane, kind of trying to twirl it just a little bit to get it through there and get it to roll through the pins. So not as strong as a hand position as he normally uses. You got Josh Blanchard here. He's using reactive. Why is my computer not working? You can see how low he gets his fingers. Pretty good, real strong. Even though he's going straight, he gets his hand to the outside, rolling up the back of it just a little bit. But that's what happens when you're trying to play straighter angles. Matt Sanders, another lefty. The only lefty we've seen so far. Way to the inside, kind of Jacob Buttrifish. These guys like to twirl it up. They really spin that ball off their hand from inside outside. But he's still, again, lots of power, gets his hand to the inside part of the ball, underneath the equator again. And those are the things you want to focus on. When the guys that have power, the gals that have power, their fingers are always below the equator of the ball. It's almost like they're dragging their knuckles on the ground, on the approach. Drag, drag, drag. Look how low that is. Look at, like, his finger, you almost can't even see the ball because his hand is so low. And he just whips his hand right around it from that inside part to the outside part. Because you got to remember, when your hand's inside, you have motion that you can go from here to there. When your hand's already outside, it's just letting it go from right there. There's just a quick little motion. There's not much there. All right. Andrew Anderson. Again, another one. Real nice and low. Goes from inside to outside and wraps his hand right around it. Nice straight angles. I mean, you can't... These things can be taught, but it's years of practice, repetition, making your hand do the same thing over and over again. Bill, in my opinion, one of the best hands in the game. Look how low and inside he gets his hand. That's sick. Inside, outside, just wraps straight around it. Just boom, just flicks it right off. Whack. real hard, real strong. It's amazing. Some of these guys are just, it's dirty what they can do with their hand, getting them so low. It's like the ball doesn't even come off their hand. It's like such a split second, going from way underneath it to on top of it, essentially. Like going from way behind it like this to just then their hand and their thumb just goes boom, just straight through it every time. And just wraps right through it. And that's how the rev rate's created. That's how the power and the leverage is created. When your hand's already on top of it, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. When your hand is already on top of it, you have a very difficult time creating power and revolutions. Now, there's just a 2-finger bowler, Doherty, but look at this. I mean, look, this takes strength because you don't have the other hand to put it in position. You don't have your thumb to hold on to it. You've really got to use a lot of forearm strength and a lot of wrist strength to do this. He's perfected it. He's figured out how to do it, and it's amazing. As he gets 6. You got Tommy. Tommy was another one that, he's one of the older guys now, but he was generating a lot of power well before most of these guys came out. And again, this isn't his most powerful release because he's playing straighter. Right now, he's kind of right at the equator, just below the equator, trying to get it to shoot through the front. Here's the buttress. Here you go. Ridiculous. This is just silly. Look at that. That's silly. A little bit like Sanders, but it's almost like his fingers are inverted. Like they're up. That's crazy. And then just rips through it from inside to outside. Just whoosh. It's nuts. It's amazing how these guys can do that. Dom Barrett, he's playing straighter, so I don't think he's going to be too strong. Yeah, he's trying to play that real weak. His fingers still got pretty low, but he was trying to play the weak roll, trying to take some out of it. See, that's the difference, is when the guys are doing this, when they're playing the inside part of the lane, their hand really gets up underneath it. When they're playing the outside part of the lane, they get closer to like what the ladies do. So just keep that in mind. That's probably the last one I'm going to go through right there. I just kind of wanted to run through this a little bit. Some people were asking about seeing some of the guys and how they do things with their hand. That shows you, even though that camera, well, not very good view, but it gives you an idea of what a lot of these guys do. So the next time you go practice, just think of keeping your fingers really, really low, almost to the point where they're dragging on the ground, and then rip your hand through it, through the out, this way, and boom, and then straight forward, boom, just that way. Roll it off your hand, and you'll be okay. So I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later.